Hello there. In this video, let's cover why artificial intelligence and AI governance is an important area, why it matters, why you should get a degree or certification in the ISO 42001 ISO standard, why now, why this puts you ahead. My name is Dheeraj Lal. I'm Executive Director of GRC AI Worldwide. I'm myself a certified professional, been covering management standards for over 30 years. So welcome to this video. Let's understand the need for AI governance in a bit more detail. Now, before we go on, I'm going to switch off my camera because often it tends to obstruct the wordings on the slides. The reality of today is that artificial intelligence is no longer a future concern. It's no longer rocket science. It's no longer in the future. It's already been around for some time. It's here right now, reshaping the way decisions are made in many organizations, in many sectors, affecting every person. When you look at YouTube and it pops up a new video of interest, that's AI working. When you go on to Amazon and Amazon recommends you 3 similar products, it's AI working. If you search for a flight and suddenly you get hotel recommendations in the same place, it's AI working. You go to a hospital, it allocates you to a certain doctor, it's AI working. So AI is here right now, shaping the way decisions are made in day-to-day life, in organizations, in the government, in the private sector, affecting every person. In this video, I give you an introduction to AI, and AI governance, what AI actually is, why it needs to be governed, what happens when it isn't governed properly, and why organizations and professionals who take AI seriously will be the ones that get ahead. And that includes taking a course like this and getting certified, because that's a very rare skill and you can get ahead. But first, let's understand AI. AI is software that learns patterns from data. It uses that to make decisions or predictions, often without being explicitly programmed for such a situation. So it uses its knowledge and its judgment, and it comes to a conclusion. Machine learning systems improve with experience. Deep learning and neural networks are some of the technical terms. They model complex patterns of human behavior. That's what we call generative AI. It generates, like the tools many of us use daily. It creates text, it creates images, code, decisions from patterns learned across vast data sets and information. But here is what makes today's AI fundamentally different from earlier technology. Scale. Billions of decisions per day, not thousands. That's because machines can often process much faster than human beings can. Speed. Real time with no pause for human thought. Speed. Real time. For example, the Tesla car. It can self-drive. That's because it gets various inputs and almost real time can make decisions, including pressing the brake if there's suddenly an obstruction on the road or a child who crosses. The Tesla car can on its own decide to press the brake super fast, often much faster than maybe a human being can react. Unfortunately, a lot of this comes with opacity, which means it's a bit like a black box. Sometimes you may not be able to fully understand the logic or the output, the logic or the rationale. If you were denied a medical treatment, you were denied a loan, Often AI may not be able to exactly explain why it denied you. And AI clearly is the future. It will reach everyone, every sector, every country, every person. It already has reached probably in some shape or form. It's going to penetrate even more. These four factors together are what makes AI governance important, and not just important, but essential. What is generally said is that AI is not a problem. The problem is irresponsible AI. What we need is the exact opposite. We need responsible AI. What do we mean by that? AI which does things fairly, properly, in a transparent manner. This rests on six core principles. Fairness. AI should not discriminate on certain unfair parameters. Its output should be fair and equitable across all groups, all races, all nationalities, all religions, all genders, all demographic groups. Ideally, it should be tested before deployment for this fairness. And once it's deployed, it should be monitored in its operation. Transparency. Decisions made by AI must be explainable. We should be able to trace them, understand the logic, work backwards. And if a wrong decision has been taken due to a wrong logic, then let's fix that. Let's correct that. Let's get to the right decision. People affected by AI decisions have the right to understand why they were discriminated against, why they were denied or discriminated against. The logic should be fair and reasonable. Safety. AI systems must be tested for potential harm before they go live. They should be monitored continuously during operation and corrected immediately when problems emerge. Accountability. Organizations have to own the outcome of their AI. It's an organizational decision, not an AI decision. There's no such thing as the machine decided. That's not fair. The fact is, someone agreed to accept the decision by the machine. Someone built the model, a human being built the model, a human being approved the deployment, and therefore, certainly, a human being in the organization is responsible and accountable. We must have human oversight. A human must always be able to review, question, and override the decision by AI, particularly when that decision affects someone's rights or livelihood. And privacy. AI must handle personal data lawfully, minimally, and with full respect for individual rights under data protection laws. These six principles are the foundation on which all responsible AI practice should be built. Unfortunately, many organizations don't currently follow all of these six, and that's where you come in. That's your opportunity to get inside, to help them fix them, and that's your career path. The fact is that AI is already deciding your life and the lives of millions of others. Look at some of these six decisions already being made by AI even today. Loans and credit, shortlisting of candidates for jobs, healthcare treatment, detection of frauds, criminal justice, content and information. Think about the decisions already being made right now, automatically at scale by AI systems. Who gets a loan? Who gets approved? Whose CV is shortlisted before a human ever reads it? Who gets a hospital appointment and when? Whose transaction is flagged as potentially fraudulent? In some countries, AI assigns risk scores that influence bail decisions in criminal courts. So it's a machine deciding whether or not a potential criminal or detained person can get bail. And online, AI determines what news you read, what products you see, what information shapes your view of the world. There are quite a few case studies of well-known, reputed organizations, including Amazon, where AI made certain decisions that caused huge reputational and financial loss. These decisions are happening every second of the day. And in many organizations, they're happening without meaningful human review of whether they're fair, accurate, or appropriate. Look up those case studies of organizations that got AI really wrong, the implications, and then you realize why AI needs to be governed. At the speed at which AI is growing, there is a huge AI governance gap, and that could be your opportunity to get trained and to use this to get a good, sustainable job, which will only grow. As AI grows, your job will grow. The numbers make the scale of the challenge absolutely impossible to ignore. 72% of organizations globally have now deployed AI in some shape or form. That's what the statistics tell us. This is the majority of employers, service providers, and public bodies that you interact with. Yet, fewer than 25% have meaningful governance frameworks in place. Many are running AI systems with no proper structure for ensuring that they work correctly or fairly. And if they were set up properly once, often what's missing is to ensure that they continue to be set up correctly, because the fact is, as market and the data changes, sometimes the AI model decisions start changing for the worse. The stakes are enormous. AI's projected economic impact is $15.7 trillion. That's trillion by 2030. And the consequences of getting it wrong are equally significant, as we mentioned in some case studies. And now the EU AI Act, which imposes fines of up to 35 million euros, and the fines can extend to 7% of global revenue for the most serious violations. So the fact is, the AI capability is growing, AI governance is lagging, controls are lagging, and organizations are exposed now to fines and penalties and reputational issue and revenue loss, even much more than they were exposed earlier. Let's look at some of those case studies that we mentioned. What you see here are not cautionary tales from hypothetical potential possible scenarios. These are real situations that have happened to real organizations. Organizations you know. Amazon built a recruitment AI system. Probably what they did not realize, or if they realized, they ignored, was that this AI system systematically discriminated against women. This happened for 2 years, and over 2 years, it did not get fixed. Did someone notice it? Did someone ignore it? No idea. The fact is, for 2 years, this happened. It discriminated. It seems that no bias testing had been done, no AI impact assessment had been done. And importantly, the oversight was missing. And the fact that women were being marginalized and ignored and demoted for this recruitment option is not something that got escalated for over 2 years. So for 2 years, women lost out. Another example, the UK government deployed an algorithm to award A-level grades. This algorithm reversed grades in 280,000 cases. Students from disadvantaged backgrounds were disproportionately penalized. The system reversed these grades automatically, unmonitored, with no accountability mechanism in place. 280,000, either no one realized, or if they did, they didn't do anything about it, at least at that time. Third example, Compass, a criminal justice risk assessment tool used across the US, was found to assign racially disparate risk scores, which means for certain races, the scores were disproportionately unfair. It appears that no fairness review had been carried out, no demographic testing, no governance. The net result was that for certain races, people were unfairly treated, given an unfair score compared to an identical person from a different race. Fourth example, Air Canada, which was held legally liable in court for misinformation provided by its own AI chat box. The output was not monitored. It seems that there were no controls, no concern reporting, no verification process. The output was not monitored. Air Canada was penalized. Now, in general, these organizations are not useless organizations. They are fairly reputed. They're not careless or incompetent. What went wrong is that they simply did not have the relevant AI governance in place. This was not responsible AI. For a long time, these errors continued. They did not get caught. They did not get fixed. So what's changed? Let's look at the regulatory landscape right now. What's changed is the regulatory environment has changed a huge lot. Compliance is no longer optional. Compliance is now mandatory, and it comes with stiff fines and penalties, as we said, possibly up to 7% of the turnover. The EU AI Act has been in force since 2024. This is the world's first comprehensive AI law. It classifies AI systems by risk level. It prohibits certain uses entirely. It requires conformity assessments for high-risk applications. It imposes fines up to 35 million euros. The ISO 42001 2023 is the International AI Management System Standard. That's the course we are offering at multiple levels: awareness, foundation, specialist, professional, even train the trainer. The 42001 is a certifiable framework that organizations use to demonstrate that their AI governance is real, structured, and independently verified. We spoke about the GDPR. The GDPR, the Data Protection Regulation, originated in the EU, has already been around for quite some time. It already applies to AI. It involves the right for an explanation of automated decisions, and that is an existing legal requirement. And if you're unable to comply, you could be fined up to 20 billion euros for violations. The UK AI Safety Institute has been established specifically to evaluate the most powerful AI systems, which can cause risk to individuals and society. And it looks at regulating such examples and institutions. And this will only increase. More and more countries will bring in AI regulations. More and more countries will demand accountability and responsible AI. And that's why you'd be smart to do a course in AI governance. The legal obligations are real. They're being enforced. There are fines and penalties, and such expectations are only growing. So let's come to the ISO 42001. This is the world's first international standard for AI management systems, published in December 2023. It applies to any organization that develops AI, that provides AI-powered products or services, or uses AI to make decisions. That means it's relevant to almost every organization in the world today. Every individual. Almost everyone is impacted by AI, and hence all of them get covered. The ISO 42001 is certifiable by accredited certification bodies, which means that organizations can be audited or assessed by independent bodies. And the intention is to demonstrate that the AI governance meets internationally recognized standards, being the 42001. The ISO 42001 directly supports compliance with the EU AI Act for high-risk AI applications, and is built on the same harmonized structure as the ISO 27001 information security, ISO 9001 quality, which means if you or your organization already understand the 27001 or 9000 or even BCMS 223001, Service Management 20000, Environment, Health and Safety, any of these standards, then you already have a good foundation in place on which to build the AI management system. The 42001 addresses all aspects of concern with AI: bias, transparency, accountability, and human oversight. Part of the same principles, the 6 principles that we covered just a while ago in this video. So why does AI governance matter? Why does the ISO 42001 matter? For individuals, for society, for your organization? For good reasons: protect people, protect reputation, avoid legal liability, build trust. AI that's not governed can harm individuals. It has in the past, as you saw in the case studies. It could continue to do that if it's not monitored and controlled. It can harm through discrimination, through misinformation, through the denial of rights or opportunities. As the case study shows, as the case studies showed, that harm can go undetected for years. Look at the UK case, 280,000 grades reversed. Is that even fair? What happens to those lives of those students? How do they get their lives back? How does even a wrong like that get corrected? Second good reason, protect reputation. A single governance failure can define how your organization is remembered by customers, by regulators, and the media. And once the damage is out there, it could be permanent. What goes on to social media often stays permanently. It's a permanent stigma. I'm sure no one wants that. Third good reason, avoid legal liability. The EU Act, GDPR, and national laws create real enforceable obligations. Non-compliance carries direct financial consequences, and ignorance is not a defense. Fourth good reason, build trust. Organizations that can demonstrate responsible AI governance will be chosen by customers, partners, invested in regulators. Organizations that can demonstrate responsible AI governance will be chosen over those cannot. Their customers, partners, investors, and regulators will certainly prefer well-controlled, well-managed organizations, organizations that have responsible AI, that manage their AI, that have the 42001 in place. AI governance is not just risk management, it's a long-term competitive advantage. So let's look to wrap this up. AI decisions are being made. You are being affected by AI. Your family is being affected by AI. Your community is being affected. Decisions are being made for all of you. AI is classifying you in a certain bucket. AI is affecting our lives. Who gets a job? Who gets a loan? What information is out there? What products to sell you? What route to take? What pricing to give you? Whose risk score determines the future? So will we let the machines control us, or do we control the machines? The job of the machine is to help make life easier. Certainly AI is good. AI is fantastic. AI is fast. AI usually doesn't have a bad day. AI works 24/7. AI, AI is consistent. Many, many great advantages. But it's we who should be taking the final decision. So let's ensure responsible AI. Let's ensure that we control the AI. Let's ensure that we create the right model. The model looks at the right things. The model gives us the right decision. And that's why the ISO 42001 matters. So I hope this gives you a good insight. And again, the statement that is many times used, AI will take your job. No, AI will not take your job, assuming you have the skills to manage AI. Either AI manages you or you manage AI. What do you prefer? If you manage AI, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the speed, the accuracy, the comprehensiveness of AI, yet you take the final decision. That's an ideal situation to be in. So with that, I invite you to attend the 42001 course. I hope you attend it with us. Otherwise, go attend it with anyone else. But do the course, be an AI expert, and secure your job and secure your career. So with that, thank you for watching. I hope this video has given you a good sense of the importance of AI, the importance of the ISO 42001. All the best. Best wishes. If you have any question, please get in touch. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.